Greetings all, and welcome back to another What the Fuck Is A reborG podcast. I am reborG. Got my co-host Boy there, sleeping. It's like a fucking slug right now. Updates on Boy. He's doing good. He's chilling. All the injuries and all the shit, that he's well past that. He's good to go, man. Making 5-foot jumps at his leash when it's time to go outside and things of that nature. I like to give a shout out to Boy for behaving outside. When Boy first came to stay with me in December, Boy was an asshole, but he's always been that way. It wasn't a big deal beforehand when I had him back when I stayed at my old house, because he could just go outside, run around in the yard, take care of his business, and that'd be it. I didn't have the time when he needed to go outside. He would bark, walk to the door, there it is. And he got so free at one point, my sister just let him loose. Like, before I was taking care of him at the house, she was. And she would just let him go outside. And, most of the time he would come back home, there wasn't times where he would just leave and would come back for the rest of the day. You give him about 2-3 hours, he'd be alright. Because that, I guess, to me, that's an amazing thing about dogs and animals, is that he can't even see in fucking color, but he knows exactly where the fucking house was. So one day I let him outside. It was like 5-6 o'clock in the morning at the old spot, and this nigga went outside, and I waited for like 10 minutes, and I was like, alright, he'll be here. It was like 5:30 in the morning. Then I, finished off the rest of my sleep, ate some breakfast, and then like 11:30 comes around, like noon, and I hear a scratch at the door. It's this nigga. He had been gone for 4.5-5 hours. Like, just baffles me. But Boy had a problem when he's walking past people, or when he sees people, he's gonna bark. He's gonna bark at you. But we've been working. I haven't really had to beat his ass, just get a little stern in my speech, because he understands. And he's been pretty cool, man. He doesn't bark when we go out in the morning or at night. He's real chill. Only time he may bark is when, like, the police are around. And I don't mind that. Because, as black people, we, fuck the police. It's more than just a song. It's just the way that we, carry ourselves, especially myself. Especially when if you're not doing nothing, definitely fuck the police. But you can't rob a bank and then say it. But Boy's doing great. Another asshole thing he's doing is, I probably said it before, he likes to pick through his food, eats the soft food, and leaves the kibble on the side of the bowl. Right now, his kibble sitting on the floor by his bowl. And until he fucking eats that kibble on the floor, he won't get no bacon strips, no Triscuits, no tortilla chips. He won't get shit until he does it. He already knows, so it's not like he has to learn. Our first topic we're diving into, talk about the NHL, Stanley Cup, the boy Ovechkin. Been a fan since I watched some of his highlight videos before he got drafted. And I was like, oh, damn, 6'3", big motherfucker, he can score. He might be like Lindros without the pussy in him. Because for those of you who remember Eric Lindros, he was a big goal scorer. He was a star. And as soon, I can't remember who it was, as soon as he got hit hard and them skates went in the air, he got softer and he got progressively worse as the years went on. Once people figured out you could hit him and it fucks up his whole effectiveness as a player, it's not like you could hit him and he wasn't searching for goals and he could turn around and be a good assist man, a playmaker, and all that stuff. No, he couldn't do shit. But Ovechkin, proud of the dude. They finally put some talent around him. My boy, who is a real big NHL fan, was telling me about TJ Oshie years ago. But he never blew up at the team he was previously at. I want to say it was in Colorado, the Avalanche. But when he got to Washington, I thought that could help because, he wouldn't have to be the star and this, that, and the third. And he showed, a lot of worth in that. Proud of Ovechkin, man. Maybe one of these days I'll get into my hockey top fives, just to get that out there, let people know. I used to be bigger in the NHL, when I was younger. But I have tailed off as I've gotten older. I still, follow it, check the stats, check the scores. Only games I watch are usually playoff games. So that's where that's at right now. On to the next topic. We have NCAA football news. In the last couple of weeks, hold on one second while I light up this stogie. The last few weeks, there's been a lot of talk about quarterback transfers. Will it get worse? Will there be more? I'm here to tell you yes. As long as kids go blindly into making this decision about where they want to go to school at, it will continue to happen. Trevor Lawrence, who was a top 5 player in last year's high school class, this previous class that just passed, everybody raves about the kid. And I knew when he got to Clemson, some of the players were going to get pushed out the way. Probably spoke about it. He has had 3 quarterbacks transfer out of Clemson since he's gotten there. And I can guarantee you he will start sooner or later. Because Dabo Swinney could not let that happen. He will not send Kelly Bryant back out there to fuck up like he did previously. But a lot of people are asking, is it going to be more? Yes, it will. People make mistakes. Coaches promise you things and, you fuck around and you get had. You get jukes, you get jerked, you get fucked over. So you got to rectify that. Like Jacob Eason for Georgia. He knew damn well when he came back from injury it would be very difficult for him to play. Because Jake Fromm led the team to the championship and damn near won it. Not his fault that the defense kind of broke down when Tua got in the game. But, and right now he has a threat in Justin Fields trying to take his spot, which is crazy. Now, nobody should be surprised if either one of them loses the job this year or next year. Whoever's the starting quarterback, the other one's going to transfer. So that revolving door will continue to happen. Then you have situations like Shea Patterson in Michigan. Ole Miss got hit with a lot of sanctions. I knew they was cheating. I knew it. I've been following recruiting since about 2000. And when teams pop up out of nowhere, you get a little suspicious. Ole Miss usually builds up their players to become something. We all knew Eli went there because of his pops. Patrick Willis built himself up to be something. Ole Miss really wasn't that type of school that you seen people going to. Once they just start getting the floodgates open, it's only a moment of time. I can tell you that right now. Right now, there's not a lot of teams that's doing that, but don't be surprised if somebody gets caught. It's going to happen. Everybody cheats. And I don't knock them for it. You got to get that edge. When Alabama can go and pick players from whatever the fuck they want, no region is safe. Because it used to be a time you couldn't go in certain places because you knew getting the kid wasn't going to happen now. Not in this new day and age. Some coaches can get whoever the fuck they want. But it will continue. And I think they're going to try to do this rule where if your grade's up to par, you won't have to wait a year. Because they already have the thing depending on the situation, because Shea Patterson didn't have to wait a year because of all the sanctions, this, that, and the third and all that. So he gets to come out and play for Michigan. And Harbaugh desperately needs that shit. But going on to the next subject, the EYBL. My top 5 players who have been playing in it thus far, because they've been through all the cities. And next up is the Peach Jam, I think at the end of June or the beginning of July, one of the two. Cole Anthony, for those who don't know, those who are old, Greg Anthony's son, that kid's good, man. He's good. He's like the consummate point guard who can score. He can set up teammates. He can do a lot of things. And I'm not going to say he has sneaky athleticism, because he can do some freaky dunks. When you can do a windmill or go between the legs, that's pretty much the basis of a good athlete. You want some good athlete shit. And he's leading the EYBL in scoring. The team's not great, but he's making it happen. Props to the kid. Tyrese Maxey, Kentucky commit. Real good shooting guard. It's like D-Wade. It was like D-Wade when you first saw him. Not in the tournament, but during the season. Athletic. He has a better shot than D-Wade at that stage. He's going to be a good look at Kentucky. Calipari knows. If Calipari can, he can get something out of his players. even when they don't play good in the regular season, in the tournament, they can make things happen. James Wiseman, big man out of Memphis. He's questionable as to going up a year, skipping his next year and going straight to college. And the only two schools involved with him are Memphis and Kentucky, because at his high school is where Penny Hardaway coached previously before he got hired at Memphis. So probably end up at Memphis. I don't know if he'll skip a year, because you never know. The decision will probably be made by August, because that's when Marvin Bagley decided that he was going to skip, and Andre Drummond years ago did the same thing. Vernon Carey, the son of Vernon Carey, he was the offensive tackle during Miami's dominance in the early 2000s, and he was a tackle for the Miami Dolphins also. This kid's good, man. Big man, back to the basket. He can shoot, so he can stretch the floor a little bit. Kind of I'm not going to say an old school, because he just doesn't play back to the basket. He can turn his shoulders to the rim and get a bucket there too. But, not a shot blocker, but he's a shot alterer. He can alter shots and protect the rim. And last, we have Scotty Barnes. This kid is pretty much Scottie Pippen, a versatile combo forward who can dribble, can drive to the lane. His shot needs some work as far as him being able to get it off quicker and getting a better snap on his release. But he can do everything else. He can rebound. He can play defense at multiple positions. He can do the point forward thing. The kid's pretty good, and I'm looking forward to him in the next coming years whenever he decides to go to college. Because you never know, in the next year or two, they could do the get rid of the one and done rule, and players can go straight to. So, be an interesting thing to keep an eye out for. In boxing, I watched the Terrence Crawford fight against what's his name, Jeff Horn. It was kind of slow at the beginning, with the fill out parts, the first about 3 rounds. But after Crawford figured him out, that was it. Usually when a boxer's coming forward and the other boxer is, mainly backing up, most of the times it's a bad sign. The boxer backing up is usually the one at the disadvantage and, trying to escape, the punches of the fighter coming forward. That wasn't the case. Crawford was backing up and tagging the shit out of him. And Horn, he only knows how to fight one way. Head down, coming forward, little head movement, and he's, inside fighter. Crawford was using exceptional defense and had to take any major shots from him and stopping him from even getting to the position where he can throw shots. He fought a great fight. It was for all the Terrence Crawford fans, and if you aren't into boxing nowadays because you don't know, just do yourself a favor and get into it. I know the media hypes the shit out of Lomachenko, and he's an extraordinary fighter. But never forget, it's a lot of fighters out there. And because of how the media has grown, you have accessibility to all of them. You even have highlight videos you can watch on YouTube, so you can get a feel of what they're like, and you can get it to it later on. Because right now, the welterweight division is fucking crazy right now. You have Crawford, who just went into welterweight. You have Errol Spence Jr., who's a great fighter. Keith Thurman, who's a good fighter. I'm not going to say great because he's ducking the shit out of Errol Spence Jr. Bad as hell. Like, I don't think he wants that problem. Danny Garcia is still there putting in work. And it's a lot of good fighters in the welterweight division. It should get interesting, in the next year or two. We shall see. But as far as Keith Thurman, he's scared. He doesn't want to lose those belts. I can see fear in him, and that's how that goes. UFC event last night. Robert Whittaker defended his belt against Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero, I think, as strong as he is, he has to learn some takedowns, and he has to learn how to work in the wrestling. Because as far as stand-up, he's crazy. He put Whittaker down twice and couldn't finish him. Whittaker showed a strong chin and a lot of resiliency, and he proved himself to be a good champ. He probably won't fight him again, because I think Yoel Romero will probably just take him out, because it started all slow, and by the third round, that's where Romero picked it up, and shit got real. But Whitaker won on a split decision. I don't have much with that. CM Punk got lost again. He got his ass whooped. Just go back to wrestling, man. It's easier on your face, and it's easier for you to get paid, man. The 2 fights you've been in, you've looked not just bad, you've looked horrible. I know you don't fuck with Vince McMahon and stuff like that, but go anywhere, man. Just go back to wrestling. You know that's what the fuck you want to do. You're wasting a lot of people's time in the UFC. Dana White has gotten what he's gotten out of you as far as publicity and popularity, but that train is gone. Nobody gives a fuck, okay? And next we have NBA, the finals. I was kind of stretching out the podcast so I can talk about the finals as they were completed. You know, I didn't think the shit would end this early. I thought the Cavs would at least get 2 wins. I saw them at least getting 2 wins. And LeBron needs help. I mean, he's coming up on free agency. So, and I don't know where the fuck he's going. I have no clue. I really don't even have any ideas. I know he'll probably stay on the East Coast, the Eastern Conference, so he doesn't have to deal with that Western Conference gauntlet unless he has a team that he knows he can build on the West that could beat the Warriors. Because right now he can't beat the Warriors. He just doesn't have enough. I don't see it happening unless he can come up with something. Because we all know he needs another scorer. So that works out great for him. The Kyrie experiment worked pretty well when he did get to play with him. And, you know, that first year when Kyrie was injured, it just didn't work that well. You know, they got fucked up. But he needs help. And speaking of the finals in the NBA, the games come on late, and my mom didn't get a chance to watch a lot of the games because they came on late. She's old. She goes to sleep early, you know, this and the third. So I was just filling her in on it. And she was pretty much saying the same thing because she's watched a couple of regular season games. She said she didn't think the Cavs had a chance. They were sorry. Outside of LeBron, there was no real threat. And she says that he needs to go anywhere. She said pick any team that's not the Cavs just to do that. Because my mom's a basketball fan. Like, I grew up, we used to watch the games as a family. Me, her, and my pops. And my mom's is like a real sports fan. She, like, enjoys boxing. She doesn't like the fact that the matches come on so late nowadays, and she's old. Because Terrence Crawford, that thing started at like 10:30. She's well into bed right by that time. So she doesn't like how everything is beyond prime time now. She said whatever happened to fights at 8 o'clock. And I said, I'm sorry, Mom. Going on to more NBA news, I have my top 10 draft prospects. No particular order, just the 10 players I think that, you know, have a chance to be stars. First, we're going with Colin Sexton. I've been a fan since he led the EYBL in points. He's a dog, man. They call him the young bull. That's what he does. Bullies his way throughout the game. So I think anybody who needs a point guard, please make it happen. Next, we have Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley is immensely talented. The kid has impeccable ceiling, and he has a chance to do great things in the league. And I'm just hoping that he gets the coach that will push him and bring that out of him. We have DeAndre Ayton. We already talked about him. He's a beast. Luka Doncic. He's a point forward. Kid can get it done. He's been the man since, Real Madrid bought his rights when he was 12 years old, and he's proven himself to be good on the big stage over there. Same thing with Bagley. He's going to have that coach that will, you know, make the most of his skills. Because a lot of times, a lot of players aren't good with the team that originally drafted them because the coach doesn't know what they're doing. A quick reference is Jalen Rose. He was horrible at Denver. The Nuggets did not know what the fuck they were doing. He went to Indiana, became the most improved player in the league. So sometimes it's not the player. Sometimes it's the coaching in the situation that can fuck somebody up. Next we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This is a guy who's very versatile. And that's a 6'6" point guard who can play defense. Good passer, can drive to the lane. Will have to work on his shot. And it's not working on shot like changing the whole mechanics. It's more about getting it more efficient and working on making it quicker. Because, it's a different breed of athlete in the NBA. But I think the kid will be good. Most of these guys, it all depends on where they're going. Next I have Wendell Carter Jr., the consummate classic power forward. But the kid can also shoot. He's a great defender. Because I'm not going to say Bagley can't play defense. He just didn't. Right? You can't be that athletic and that skilled and not be able to move your feet, jump, defend, and all that stuff. He has it in him. Like I said, he has to have the coach to bring it out of him. But Wendell Carter already had it. The kid's very versatile as a power forward, and I could see him doing big things later on. Next we have Michael Porter Jr. You can't pass up on a 6'10" scorer who can do it all offensively. He's an athlete. He has a great shot. Not only is it a great shot, he elevates, so it won't be easy to block his jump shot. He can get his jump shot off in most situations. He has enough handle to get to the rim. And let's not forget the kid's 6'10". Learned under Brandon Royal 1 year at Nathan Hale, and I think that helped his game tremendously. He took a physical and sent the results to every NBA team to show that he was healthy. We'll see when he gets to the summer league. But I have high hopes for him. And next we have Jaren Jackson Jr. Another just like Wendell Carter, but he has a better shot. He's a better rim defender. I don't think you can go wrong with the kid. He's going to help. I think he just needs the right environment around him, like teammates who actually want to win, that'll put him in there. Next we have Mohamed Bamba. I already spoke about this kid, defensive wizard, Rudy Gobert, with more offense. So you can't go wrong with that. And last we have Michael Bridges. Michael Bridges, Trevor Ariza, Kawhi Leonard. He's like the consummate small forward, can shoot, can drive to the lane, get a bucket, can play defense, can play off ball, which helps a lot. So you don't have to put the ball in his hands and he got to dribble up the court and, take all the time off and that. He, go around the curl, get his shot, or make a play from there, which is always good. And next we have my top 5 sleepers. Guys who I think will be good players. Not all stars, not stars, but will be good players, or at least important role players. First we have Trayvon Duval. He's too much of an athlete, and he's too much in the mode of the current NBA point guard where I don't see this not working for him. He made a horrible decision going to Duke, and as a Duke fan, I don't have a problem with that. I was surprised when he decided to go to Duke. I just thought he was going to go somewhere else and be the man. But him going to Duke pretty much stalled it. And Wendell Carter has said something to that, reference, saying that Duke players will be better in the league than they were on the court. And he's right in the point because, you have the Coach K system. Got to do what Coach K says. He's the man there. So, and then they had a lot of, players that were known for scoring, this, that, and the third. And, not everybody can touch the ball. So I think those guys will play better in the NBA. I can't speak for Grayson Allen. Got to wait and see. Stop tripping people. That's all, But as far as everybody else, Gary Trent can play for a long time. Gary Trent Jr. can play for a long time in the league. And most of these guys, I think, probably will be better. Next, we have Anthony Simmons. He's coming from high school, which means he probably got held back or failed. Because if you old enough to skip, that means you fucked up somewhere. Very athletic point guard. I'm going to say combo guard because he really doesn't have the point guard thing down yet. I think he'll get better at it and grow more if, the right coach comes along. But he has a great canvas to work with, and I think he can, blossom in the league. Next, we have Chimezie Mutu from USC, the versatile forward. The guy's a good rim protector. He can shoot. His drive to the basket game is better at the Drew League, where defense probably isn't as prominent as it is at USC. And I think something at USC was holding him back, because I think he was actually probably going to go to school 1 or 2 years. And the fact that they got 3 out of them shows that something just didn't go right at USC. Then we have Mitchell Robinson. The Mitchell Robinson story is crazy. I think I said something about it. He committed to Western Kentucky. He only committed to Western Kentucky to play there because his godfather was an assistant coach. His godfather got fired as soon as he got to the damn school. And then, when he asked to transfer, people were shocked. Like, the reason that he went to the school is gone. So why the fuck would he want to stay there? Like, that's one of the issues with the NCAA. Like, Western Kentucky used his godfather to get him to the school and then fired him. And then didn't want him to transfer. Like, it got so bad that, he had to go by regular transfer rules. He had to sit out a year and then play. Some of these kids are actually broke as fuck, and they're trying to get some money to provide for their family. That's why some of them might not even turn into anything, because all they really wanted was to get to the league to get this money. It wasn't even about being the next great player or being the superstar. They just want to be able to take care of moms. But I think this guy's good. 7-footer, very athletic, rim protector, finish at the basket, pick and roll type guy. He's got a chance to be something. And last, we have Stanislav from Kansas. Not going to say his name. He's a 20-year-old graduating senior. So he's only a year or two older than most of the young prospects. It's not like he's a senior that's 23, 24, 22. I'm one of those older guys who come in the draft, because the NBA act like getting an older player is it's like make that face when you put your tongue on the battery and don't act like y'all haven't done it. And it's just bad. The guy can shoot. He's actually athletic. He has a good drive game. Before he decided to go to Kansas, he was Luka Doncic. People were talking about him being the next great player from Europe. I thought that he was going to wait, playing the Euro League, and when he turned 18, 19, he was going to go in the league. I'm surprised that he went to Kansas. And I think he went when he was 16 years old. 16, 17 years old. There was an under-16 tournament in Europe, and he killed so bad that everybody could not wait for this kid to go Euro League and then go in the draft. He threw a curveball by going to Kansas, because I think both his parents are educators, so I guess that was important for him as well as them. But going to Kansas fucked up his growth. He just turned into a three-point shooter, and that's one thing I want to say to all the kids out there, whether you listening or not. I just want to put it out there, but whether it be football, basketball, but I don't give a fuck. Know what the fuck you're getting into. Do not let these coaches trick you and talk you into coming to their school, because all they want is the names. If they can pull you into the school, you don't even have to work out. You don't even have to be that good of a player. Just the fact that you're there and you get the buzz going is good for the coach. Sometimes they want you to be good so they can, get that win. But if they can get those wins without you, they really don't give a shit. It's really not even that important to them to make it happen with or without you. It's all about the win. We all know that that's what the coaches want. They want the win. They want that chip so they can stay at the job. Now, your development and how you perform and you getting better as a player, and even on the education level, let's be honest, they don't give a shit. So think before you act. Just don't take what they tell you to heart. They could tell you that, the team is built one way, we're going to run and gun. When we get there, you'll fit right in so you can run and gun. Make sure you watch the games. Watch the games of the teams that you're considering, because a lot of teams like to, throw that curveball and change the whole thing, not based on you, but based on other players who were there previously. See, they can talk about how much you mean to them, but they don't even inform you that, somebody else will probably be in your position. Somebody that decided to stay, or, somebody else that they're recruiting. Some of the coaches, a lot of people talk about Calipari as a snake as far as recruiting, and that may be true. But the one thing I've gotten from him is that he never lies to the kids. We've all watched Kentucky. They haven't changed their way that they play. They were the same at Memphis. Dribble drive offense. He goes to what his best players are. And I can respect that as a coach. You might not respect him because of his underhandedness that he goes through for recruiting, but I respect that he does not lie to the kids, and you know, they know exactly what they're getting into when they get there. Okay? And that'll wrap up another episode of What the Fuck Is A reborG podcast. The draft is next week. Wasn't paying attention, but the draft is next week. So next week's episode we'll have a mock draft. And, you know, I got talked into it by my friends to do the whole fucking first round, even though I don't give a shit. I was just only going to do lottery or the top 20. Now I got to do the whole damn draft. Now I got to pick players for teams I don't give a shit about. But it's for the homies, so it's going to go down. But I appreciate y'all listening. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how it is. Boy, you got anything? Nope, just licking his nuts. Be easy, be you.